percentage. Some of them, you know, it was late in the game and we weren't going to throw the ball and we just ran it even if it was third, medium, long. But there was 4 gettable third downs that we didn't execute. And, you know, first of all, there's no excuses. We got to execute better on third down. We have to. You know, it's the guy that was a freshman, the guy that just playing the first time, we're past that. You're out there, you're expected to do your job. We just have to execute better.
When you win by 30 against a team that you're up 39-7 at the half, and you have 3 offensive linemen that play every offensive snap, have you ever experienced something like that in your career?
No, I guess it's not funny, but at one point I looked around and then I asked her out, am I playing everybody I have? And yes, I was. So, you know, it is what it is, you know, and it was unfortunate. You would have loved to have played a bunch of guys in that game, but just that's who we're down to. So, you know, I just got the positive is there were some guys that hadn't played much that did get to play a decent amount, so that hopefully will help us in the future.
I know you guys don't talk specifics with injuries, but Bentley obviously has been banged up. He did play in a couple PATs. At what point could you have gotten to where you would have had to use him in the game?
You know, it was an emergency situation. They had that huge club on his hand, and you know, he felt like, okay, field goal, he can kind of brace it in there and stuff like that, but we really didn't want to play him in any live snaps at that point.
Charlie Heck said after the game, when asked about JJ making the calls and everything, he said it's as if he's been there in that role for a while. And Coach Fedora sort of backed that up Monday. How impressed have you been with how he's handled 100 and something snaps he's gotten the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, you know, it's great to have a guy step up and do what he did, and you know, I have high expectations for him, though. He's a talented young man, and you know, now I want him to take his game to another level. Now, don't be just happy you made the right call and you're blocking the right guy. Now let's go ahead and bring a little intensity to it and play a little bit harder than he even has. But he's done a tremendous job filling in. You couldn't ask for more with the situation we're put in and him responding.
Masonville got some extended reps. How did he do?
You know, he did a nice job. I was telling these guys earlier that, you know, usually you put some guys in here and played. The things that stick out usually are the, you know, lost yardage plays or penalties or something like that. He had none of those. And after grading the film, he really did a nice job. Had a reception. So, I mean, you know, it was a special game for him, obviously.
Did you grade Charlie Heck's performance on Saturday?
You know, it was okay. He was better in his pass pro. He did a nice job. We ran a lot of one-back power. He did a really nice job being physical on his double teams. Not as physical as I want him to be in his single blocks in our zone scheme. So we're working with that, and some of that's just confidence with him. He's a very cerebral, overthinks things. He's got to cut loose a little bit, so we're working on getting that out of him.
You mentioned Mason's reception. Didn't Ferranto have one a couple years, like a 2-point conversion that may have been called back, if I recall?
Yes, and that was a planned play. So it's a lateral back to a tackle, which most people don't prepare for. And then we had he scored, and one of the linemen cut a guy or something, and they said he was going backwards when he did it, and they took it back from him. So unfortunately, we said in our record books, it still stands. In fact, in our meeting room, there's a picture of Ferranto scoring in a live action shot. But in the official record books, it'll never show again.
And not just Ferranto, but John Ferranto, the hair and everything else. That makes it even better.
The thing that's funny is like he was a legend that whole weekend. He said everywhere we went, you're the guy that scored, you know. So and it couldn't happen to a better guy. You know, we miss him, but that was a lot of fun.
What kind of pressure does Thomas Jackson's injury put on your wide receivers?
Well, it's a huge hole. You know, he's been so effective for us. You know, when you sit and talk about your positions sometimes, who are the guys you're not concerned about? He's one of them. You knew he was going to do his job. You knew he could play multiple positions. You knew he was going to produce. You know, special teams, there's a lot of things that go into this that besides him just making plays. So it's a huge hole. There's no doubt about it.
What was your reaction when he got injured?
I don't know anymore. Like, I'm at a loss of words for some of the things that's happened this year. I've never really experienced it. You know, you spend time figuring out, are there reasons or ways we can help this, and some of them have turned into just such freak things that I don't have an explanation. Sometimes, you know, there's whatever it is, you know, rut, you know, whatever happens, you know, it's just one of those times, and so we're trying to find ways to just find the next guy and get him to produce, but there's no words for that. You know, it's just it's sad. I hate it for him, you know, because he's given so much to be the player he is, and you know, when these kids find out that's the deal, and you see how crushed they are. I mean, it's tough. It really is, and you know, I hate it for him. You know, I just keep praying for him and just hoping he comes back better than ever.
How has he been coping with the injury?
Probably as best as you can. You know, I mean, it's a tough thing. So he's a tough kid and he's mentally tough. And you know, I think that his thing now is he's going to find a way to come back better than he was.
Jordan Cunningham had his best game there today. Can he do some of the things that Thomas has been doing for you?
You know, we talked earlier in camp that he's a guy that would make a play or two every day, so he's capable of doing some things, you know. I don't know if he's quite Thomas Jackson sometimes in that slot role that he does, but he can definitely be a guy that steps up and takes up some slack for what's going on for sure.
Who else are you looking